Okay, I hit the button. There we go. We're live, everybody. Welcome to the weekly backdrop or bi-weekly backdrop outreach meeting. Yeah, let's just jump. Have a great day. I don't know. I'm mentally frazzled. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. And I'm Tim Erickson from Deerwood, Minnesota. And I am a little bit frazzled because it's been a rough morning with site launch overnight and some sites going down this morning that I had to get working on. Anyways, so here we are. Let's get going. Sarvashri, you're next.
Okay, my name is Sarvashri, and I'm working on the ultimate guide to backdrop for beginners. So I'm making progress. I'm learning a lot about how CMSs work and trying to bring a broad perspective for beginners to CMSs in general and backdrop in particular. Jen?
Who's next?
Sure. I'm Jen Lampton, joining from Oakland, California. Looking forward to outreachy things today. Joseph.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm just here to see what's going on. Luke, I don't know if you can talk.
I can, although I can't see who's next. So Luke McCormick from San Ramon, California, and I'll keep my intro brief. And if anybody's left, you can go yourself.
Tim, you're muted.
I think that's everyone. So back to Tim. Yeah. Oh, are you muted? There you go.
Yeah, I'm back. I was just acknowledging that Luke was the last person. So, well, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know. I've been experimenting with this Miro board as a way of sort of tracking some of the back or the outreach stuff that's happening. But in my haste today, I didn't get a chance to really update it. But tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and look at it. We'll look at it quick. Oh.
While you're doing that, I can ask if people have looked at the
Sure.
how to make video tutorials information that I put up.
I have not, Sarvashri. I could have included in my intro again that I've just been, the last couple of weeks have been really crazy with the site launch today. Hopefully things will get better, but
Okay.
So my backdrop time has been really limited. So has anybody else had a chance to look at those? No. Okay.
What's there in the documentation area?
Okay. So I'm at least briefly sharing my screen to just go over if we have blog post ideas. Sarvashri, I think you should do a blog post on your video idea. Have we talked about that already?
Okay, sure.
Even just the proposal, like what it is you'd like to see happen. And
Yeah.
okay.
The big thing for outreach is for people to feel that it's a friendly place where they can learn backdrop easily and make good use of it.
Yeah.
And we'll get lots more people. So I think either a video project or combination video and tutorial project with text and screenshots would be good. And maybe we start with the text and screenshots and then make that into a video.
Okay. You've written quite a bit already, so you can probably just take some of what you've written already and get that into kind of a blog post.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so I'm on deck to do something on a backdrop live. I really got to do that. Anything else for blog posts? The next thing,
Mm,
so these,
I have a question.
yeah,
Do we want to keep the blog posts like not super technical, or like are they just general things for everybody, or is it all right if blog posts have a bunch of complicated stuff?
We've done complicated stuff, blog posts in the past. I know Jeff did a couple early on about like Backdrop and Composer and stuff like that. And I think that that's fine. We have a label in the blog for, I don't know, more technical stuff. I forget what it is. But I think that more content is better than, well, you know, I wouldn't want to not have that content just because it was technical. I think that's my thought. I don't know, Tim, if you have thoughts on that.
no, I agree. I like to see a mix, and I think having some technical stuff is fine. I don't think we want our blog to become all really technical stuff, but I don't think there's a risk of that because most of what we've done isn't. But you know,
I was actually
go ahead.
I was actually just thinking that having technical posts addresses a risk, because I was listening to, you know, Shavasni talking about the kind of friendly beginner material, and I mean we're obviously all deeply concerned about that, but I was worried just briefly that we might drift too far in that direction, that people coming from outside of Backdrop that aren't familiar with it might be mistaken in thinking they might underread the technical capabilities of it. And you know, as we all know, the basic code has scaled to cover, you know, gigantic, super complicated, super industrial sites, and we don't want to lose. We don't want newcomers to not know that. So some pretty technical stuff, I think, you know, helps to sell that message.
Okay.
Did you have something in mind, Joseph?
Not at the moment. I was just curious, like what kind of things,
Okay,
like what the range of things
sure.
you're looking for is.
Well, that might be a good blog post, is the range of applications of Backdrop, from super simple to super enterprise.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay.
I like it.
Well, anything in mind, please go ahead and work on it and let us know. On a related topic to all of this content, Peter has been doing our newsletter for the last, I think we've had 3 monthly newsletters in a row, at least 2, maybe 3. And this would be the 4th. And Peter was expressing some concern about lack of content this time around. And I would like to get some virtual user groups scheduled and get those into a newsletter that goes out. I think I'd like to keep our streak going, unless anybody else has any feedback. Obviously, well, our next one will be the release one, so that'll be obvious. But anyways, if we could get any new fresh blog posts, we could feature in the next couple of days. I think Peter has been shooting for the end of before the end of the month to get the newsletter out, and you know, this month we might have to go into next week, given that it's already Thursday, or you know, 2 days from the end of the month, and we still don't have any content. I offered to help edit this month's. Since I think Peter is busy and was lacking ideas, and I can kind of make some stuff up as I go. Go ahead.
In looking for content, we could look at what is trending on the net generally for CMSs, and sort of tailor our content to what's trending, maybe. There must be some.
Sure. Our problem though right now is it coming up with.
There's news sites, I presume, for all the different CMSs to kind of get a sense of what's trending. Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem right now, Sarvashri, though, is less about coming up with ideas for content and more about coming up with people to write them. So I mean, if we have a writer that's looking for content, I think we have ideas or we can help them come up with it. But at this stage, it's more about getting people that have the time to write something. So, you know, we have a number of ideas here. We have another board that has a whole bunch more ideas. So there's lots of ideas out there. We just need to get somebody that sort of has the motivation and the time.
What's our
Anyways,
reward and punishments?
actually, I'd like to get some virtual user groups on the books, and the two that we have in mind right now are that we've been talking about in recent meetings was creating custom views, kind of a beginner's guide to views as a virtual user group. Seems like it would be a worthwhile thing. It's something that Sarvashri has specifically requested. And I'm going to suggest we put that on the schedule for May 18th. And then the other idea we had was to talk to Olaf about the series of blog posts that he did, and maybe doing a virtual user group around those. But we have to talk to Olaf Norris, take that work with it. We've Joseph, you offered to do, I believe, a user group on tests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doc Wilmot has in the past as well. And I think the only hangup, the reason this has never happened is we just never get it scheduled.
Okay.
Is that something you're still interested, willing to do? Should we just schedule it and then see if Doc Wilmot wants to help, or do you want to do it, or you can just do it?
Sure, I can do it. I can come up with a short little presentation, and then we can just discuss whatever.
Sure. Well, how about June 2nd? It should be a Tuesday.
Does
that work for you?
I don't know, actually.
And you can get back to me on that.
Okay.
I'm going to place it there right now. If you could get back to me soon, I will. I'll ping you though before I announce that publicly.
Yeah.
Okay. People have been asking for that for a long time, and if we could just get that on the schedule.
All right.
Okay. I think that's all for the Miro board today. Just and go back to Bill. Anything else for the newsletter that people can think of? It's an odd time. I mean, we can announce that the release is coming up. I don't know. Luke, Luke's not there now. Is there anything like that we can put in the newsletter before the release? It's after the code freeze. So anyone? No. Is there anything else going on in the community that's we can, we could link to maybe some of the Germans have site has had some blog posts.
What's the editorial cutoff for newsletter entries?
Oh, Luke, you are still there.
I am, yeah.
Well, so I think BW Panda would have ideally had it out, I think, this week, but that's not going to happen. So right now, we'd like to get it out as soon as we can, but we could hold it if somebody needs just an extra day or two. I think I'd like to get it out next Monday or Tuesday.
All right. Well, look. I mean, two birds with one stone. Everybody's waiting for me to write a blog post about the conclusion of the Ready to Wear project. Okay. That sounds like newsletter material too.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I actually do one, I'll have the other one done. So maybe I should just try to do that. What do you think?
Well, sure. I think that normally we keep things and this is probably what you have in mind. We keep the newsletter things pretty short, but you could do a sort of a short summary and then link to a blog post.
Yeah. No. I'm saying if I do my long overdue post, that'll just provide rich material enough for the newsletter. However much we want to repurpose for the newsletter, I think that's an easy cut and paste job.
Yeah, let's. If you think there's a chance of you doing that, give it a try.
I don't blame your skepticism, but no, yeah, I think there's a chance. I think I could,
Right.
you know, particularly, you know, I'm deadline driven, and that's a deadline, and so let me see if I can make that work.
Well, let's say Tuesday is our target, and if we need to stretch it out another day, that would be okay. But try to get something out next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to quit sharing again. So, but is there anything else in terms of social media, the newsletter that we should be announcing? I haven't updated the dashboard on for a while. I need to do that.
Should we start promoting Backdrop Live in June?
Yes. Oh, July.
July?
July is the next date.
Mm.
I mean, I think, well, tell you what, I think we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that right now, and maybe on our agenda today should be to lock down the date, because we have kind of a tentative hold the date thing.
Okay.
And I think if we were to lock that down, we could at least announce that.
Yeah, I think it would be good to announce that. And if we can open registration when that newsletter goes out, then at least people will have, like, they could register now, even if they aren't ready for other stuff. I don't know when the newsletter is going to go out. I don't know what the timing is on that.
Well, we were just talking, we'd like it to go out like early to, next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if registration open by then is, well, here's the deal. I don't know if we can do registration. Well, we've got the problem with the Software Freedom Conservancy, right? We still don't have a payment thing set up.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as last time. So it's not really a problem. It's just not
right
the way they want it. But if the newsletter is going out next week, we could also include a list of all the stuff that's went into core over the weekend. So that would be a good batch of content anyway.
Okay. Sure. I would. Yeah, I was. Items going into next release. Backdrop live dates, maybe registration. No, we won't have an update on our Civi CRM stuff yet, I don't think. We're just scheduling a meeting that will happen after that, so I wouldn't count on us having anything to announce there yet. Okay, anything else? Are there any, there's like Stanford WebCamp is going on, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, it's today and
right
tomorrow.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get any backdrop content there, I take it.
I have one session tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Are there any other events coming up that
There's a Drupal Asheville event coming up.
what?
Drupal in Asheville. It's going to be a virtual user group meeting for Drupal in Asheville.
Yeah.
And we could probably have a backdrop session in that.
Do any of us have that on our radar in terms of submitting anything, or do we even know what their format is?
So I think it's online, same as last year, and it's July 8th and 9th.
Yeah, by format, I was more thinking about if they're doing like, sessions or.
Yeah, and there's a training day.
They are doing sessions.
Okay. Is that a good one to try and submit something to?
I think it would be great because we've got the end of Drupal 7 coming up and people may be interested in alternatives.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is it actually our session's even still open for that?
You'll have to check.
Tell you what, let's just say this, for content for the newsletter, let's figure out what Drupal events are coming up that might be suitable and then encourage people to submit backdrop content to them. Upcoming. I'm pretty sure I saw some other camp that was coming up.
So it's July 8th and 9th, Drupal Camp Asheville 10th anniversary. If you go to drupalasheville.com, that's an event coming up.
Okay.
You can,
Let's.
as a call for speaker submissions. Now accepting sessions submissions. So you can propose a session. So they're looking for us.
Good. I'm going to post a tweet just saying, hey, are there any events coming up that need speakers that we should submit to? Okay, I'm going to do that later.
When's the big government conference? Like it was.
Govcon?
I mean, it at DrupalCon Baltimore. It was at the same time, but I think it's an independent thing, right? Because that would seem like rich territory for us.
There was a Drupal in government like summit. This just happened this week. But you're thinking of Drupal Govcon, and I just went to their website, and it looks like they're scheduled the 12th through the 15th of October. So they're closer to, say, Bad Camp.
Of November?
No, October.
Oh, October. Right. So it looks like there is no Bad Camp this year. I don't know if that word got out.
I hadn't heard that yet, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. It just at the meeting we had last week.
Okay.
It's not officially killed, but it's pretty close to officially killed.
Okay.
I put the link to the Drupal Asheville in the chat.
Good.
So Tim, I'm not sure. We have like a bunch of conflicting information about Backdrop Live. It's also on the Backdrop events calendar in both June and July.
Oh.
So we have one website that says June, one that says July, and the calendar says both.
Okay. Well, let's move on and talk about Backdrop Live right now. Let's clear up that confusion. We did it in when was February, March,
Yes.
April, May. So June is 4 months away. So why did we? I know I've been saying July for a while. That's in my head. Is that wrong?
I don't know.
If it's,
I mean, the website, the backdropcms.org website agrees with you.
Right.
In my head, it was
but
June.
I'm the one who put it there, so that could be me confirming my own mistake.
Okay, so question, did we want to do it on Thursday, Friday again, like we did last time?
Well, the intention was, the specific date I think we have to talk about. I don't know that there's been discussion on that. That we did talk about when we originally set out the schedule, that this would be another short one, like the February one, just one day. So, but it's going to run overnight, possibly. I don't know. I mean, any of that could be changed. So, but.
So I was just looking at the 10th, and the 10th of June is a Thursday, but the 10th of July is a Saturday. So I don't know if the plan was to do it Thursday, Friday again, then we were probably aiming for June. But if we were going to try and move it to Saturday, Sunday, I don't remember this, so it could be either way. Then probably we're intending for July.
So I think, let me think, or do the math. April, yeah, nothing adds up. June seems more right. Because I also have in my head that we wanted to do it like right in the middle between releases, which would be June, right? We have a May, no, it's April now. So the release, I think that may be where July came from, is that the release is in May.
Right.
And so if we were doing it right in between two releases, that would be mid-July. So I think that's how we came up with that. I think the February one is not on that schedule, but I think we were thinking of switching. But it's not too late or
Well,
too early to
Right.
change if we,
So I guess another question is, so if we want to move to July, which I think is fine, the next question would be, do we want to move it up? So rather than being 10th, which was a Saturday, we could do it on the 8th, which would be a Thursday.
yes, I don't know why. It's
The
scheduled.
Drupal Asheville is 8th and the 9th of July.
Yeah.
I
Or-
did notice that was, they were going to be really close together.
We could also do it the week before, the week after too, like July 1st is the week before. That could work because people are probably excited about having the 4th of July. They might be taking Friday off anyway. I don't know. Looks like people are taking Monday off. Who knows? Here in the US anyway. And then the week after that is open source day on the 15th. So we probably shouldn't do it the week after.
What is open source day? Who
That's
does
that's
that?
the it's the thing we did last year as part of the
Sure, okay.
whatchamacallit, where we get a whole bunch of open source contributors from around the world to come help with that.
Have they contacted us or have they been
Yes,
in-
so they
okay.
said they're going to do 2 open source days this year. One's July 15th and one's whenever their normal conference is. And I think the idea was that they would get everybody started on the 15th and then they would work until the conference rather than just getting like a week of people. You'd get 4 months of contributions. So
Okay,
we'll see.
interesting. But they've reached out and like invited us to participate or just announced it?
I just got the first email last week that was like, these are our dates. Do you want to be involved? And I wrote back and said yes, but I have heard nothing following that. So we haven't gotten like an application or anything like that. They're just like, do you want in?
Sure. Okay, well, your point is correct. We can't, we would want to avoid that, I think. Although we might look at leveraging that for our own sort of contribution day. Maybe not. I don't know. We can think about that.
So the 15th is also Thursday.
Right.
I don't know. I also kind of like the first lines up with like all of our feature faces are on the first. The 15 lines up because all of our releases are on the 15th. So I don't know.
To me, the first, well, literally the first, I suppose, might work, but I don't know. I don't like being quite that close to July 4th. But anyways, this time of year is going to be problematic with holidays, but we've accepted that already.
Do you want this on weekdays or do you want some weekend?
Well, let's decide that first. Do we want a Friday, or do we like the how it lined up last time during the week?
So it's harder for us. Well, I don't know, because it's different where you are in the world where it lines up. But I felt like for East Coast California, I felt like it took 2 whole work days.
Mm-hmm.
Where I would feel like, and I don't know if this is good or not, because some people really want to have time off work and some people can't have time off work. So you're sort of dealing with it like that. But I feel like having it in 3-hour chunks also makes it more reasonable for people to not take a whole day off. They can just step away for an hour or 2 or 3 and come participate and then go back to work, which worked out really well. So maybe having a workday conflict isn't such a big issue. I know that some people have a hard time giving up their weekends, like they have other things that are already scheduled on weekends. And so it's hard to drop all of that, especially for an online event. It's different if you get to travel somewhere. So you can get there in person, you can't really avoid it. But getting people to come back to a computer on a weekend is hard. So I don't know. I'm happy with Thursday, Friday.
Well, we did. I mean, again, this isn't objecting to that. It's just, didn't we did Friday, Saturday last time, didn't we? So that it started on Friday morning and then ended on Saturday morning.
I thought we started on Thursday, but you know what?
It ended on very early Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like I don't know at all, whether I'm typical, but I was a little disappointed that there wasn't more weekend time to do it. I kind of focused in on Saturday morning. I was like, oh, it's over. so if it could bleed into Saturday a little more,
All right.
that would make me happy and anybody that's like me. I don't know how many of us there are.
All right, so Backdrop Live, the last one was in March. It was March 12th and 13th, which was Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Oh,
So I don't know, Tim, you were thinking it was February. I was thinking it's Thursday. Apparently, neither one of us can
we all have bad memories. Okay,
So,
well, so if it was in March, then July is the 4 months away. So yeah,
Would be Friday, the 9th and 10th.
I don't think we're going to solve this argument. It's like I like weekends. A lot of people don't, and I think we did it Friday, Saturday with the idea of bridging it. On the other hand, I think just that little bit of Saturday morning really, as Luke pointed out, isn't really all that helpful. On the other hand, for like Peter, I think it would have all been on the weekend. It really would have been Saturday, Sunday. And with doing an international thing with time zones, there just isn't, I don't think, a magic bullet here. That's
yeah. I would, in favor of making a decision, I would like to propose that we do Backdrop Live on Friday, July 9th and Saturday, July 10th.
Okay.
So spanning the same 2 days. But if we want, we can add one more section of 3 hours on Saturday morning. And we talked about doing that the first time. I just don't think we ever put sessions in those slots and decided it was fine with the amount of content we had. But if we can announce it next week, we might be able to have enough notice that we'll have higher attendance and we'll be able to fill those slots.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm good with it.
So this will overlap with 1 day of Drupal Camp Asheville, but not both days.
Okay.
And we could request our presentation for Drupal Asheville to be on Thursday.
Yeah, if we submit, we'll have to do that. Or, well, to be honest, it's possible that somebody could do a presentation on Friday because, well, one, they just miss a session, or it might fall in one of our gaps anyway.
Yeah, we could put it in one of our gaps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to the extent that we have control.
So people could go to both of them.
Okay, so our big decision today is to lock down the dates to July 9th and 10th. Is that right?
Yes.
And how about times? I mean, I don't know if we have to pick that right now, but are we thinking the same roughly time schedule that we did last time? Did that work?
I think so. One thing we did last time is we shifted it. We ended up like inadvertently shifting it 1 hour. So that rather than starting at 6 a.m., we started at 7 a.m. And I don't know if that happened every day or just once. I don't know. Anyway, my thought was if we want to shift the whole thing 1 hour and do the 3 hour blocks in whatever that lineup was, we could. But Tim, maybe we should look at your spreadsheet again, because I remember you had like a sweet spot, and let's make sure there's a session in that sweet spot and not a break. And so I think we have to consult the spreadsheet.
Right. Sure. I think we're close enough though. If we said, if we could shift the starting time by an hour after today and not affect anybody.
Last time it was 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah,
right?
That sounds right. I think it started at 6 on the West Coast and 9 on the East Coast. Yes, and I mean, to Luke's point, part of the problem is we had at least one full block on Saturday, but we had almost nothing scheduled in it, and so we have to either make sure that block is better filled, or even add, if we wanted to actually have a meaningful sort of Saturday content in the U.S.
6 might be too early on the West Coast, so we could start it at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But there was something about the 3 hour block where I think we ended up with a break at the time that was like best for everyone when we did that. And we wanted to make sure that time that was best for everyone, we had a session in. I don't remember what time of day that was where, but I liked
Okay.
your forethought about that last time.
Let's plan on,
Somewhere is the schedule. You could go back and look at the schedule and see how it
in our
works.
next meeting, let's plan on locking down the schedule. I don't want to try to pull that up right now. We've only got a few minutes left.
Sure.
Okay.
So at the next meeting, we'll actually have the schedule open, but we've settled on the 9th and the 10th. And I think that's enough to announce.
I updated all 3 data sources, so they're now
Okay,
in sync with each other.
correct. So the event site has it.
Event site, the backdropcms.org site, events page, and the Google Calendar all agree
Good.
that it's July 9th and 10th.
Perfect. Well, I wish we had gotten more done on Backdrop Live today, but we're almost out of time. Is there any other quick decisions we can make? No. Is there any other quick outreach related stuff that anybody wanted to talk about today? No.
June 2nd works for me.
Okay. That is outreach related. How about time?
What time
We
do
have-
they usually happen?
Well, we've actually been moving them around because of presenters. Like in one of the recent ones, Peter presented, so it had to be later in the day. And so I would say we're not locked into a time. We could go with this time.
Okay.
if that just works.
I think that June 2nd is a Wednesday.
At one point, I had back-to-back presenters, Matthias and BW Panda, and Matthias had to be earlier, and Peter had to be later, and I think that if
Okay.
we want to have people presenters from around the world, we have to be flexible in the start time.
Right.
Okay.
I think as long as it's not like in the middle of the night, US time, then
Yeah.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay. Let me just think about that and confirm it with you after
Okay. Just like,
after the call before I announce it.
all right.
But it sounds like you're flexible. So.
Yeah, just don't schedule it like after 10 at night.
Oh, no. I won't. I would love for there to be one at that time, but I think somebody from Europe needs to organize it. So I'm waiting for an organizer and a speaker to say that they want to do one like in that kind of time frame. Okay, let's end this meeting. How about that? Have a few minutes between meetings. So I'm going to, Robert Lang joined us. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and I'm going to turn off YouTube.
Bye.